Ethan had always been fascinated by the unknown. As a human explorer, he had traveled to planets few had ever seen, but nothing in his past missions prepared him for Veyara, a forest world alive with glowing plants and creatures that seemed straight out of a dream. The sky shimmered in shades of violet and gold, and the air carried a faint hum as if the forest itself was alive. He stepped carefully along a narrow path, his boots crunching on the bioluminescent moss. Every shadow seemed to move on its own, and every rustle made him pause. His scanner beeped softly, picking up unusual life signals, small, fast, and intelligent. Ethan adjusted his helmet light, scanning the undergrowth, and then he saw her. A flash of orange and white darted between the glowing trees. She moved with such speed and grace that Ethan barely had time to register her. Her ears were tall and pointed, her eyes golden and intelligent, and a fluffy, bushy tail trailed behind her as she landed lightly on a rock. "Who, or what, are you?" Ethan whispered, more to himself than to anyone else. The fox-like girl tilted her head, studying him with curiosity. Then, as if deciding he was interesting, she smiled. And not a small, polite smile. This was playful, teasing, full of mischief. "You're not from here," she said, her voice musical and quick, almost like it danced in the air. "Humans don't usually wander into Veyara's deep forests." Ethan blinked. I'm Ethan, I'm exploring." "I didn't mean to intrude." She stepped closer, her tail flicking behind her. "I'm Lyra," she said. "You didn't intrude." "Not really. But humans are rare. And interesting." She circled him like a predator examining its prey. But there was no threat in her eyes. Only curiosity. Ethan laughed nervously. "I hope interesting isn't dangerous." Lyra's smile widened. "Sometimes dangerous is fun." Before he could respond, she darted forward and tapped a nearby tree with her clawed finger. The bark shimmered, revealing a hidden trail that Ethan would have never noticed. "Follow me," she said, her voice carrying excitement. "If you want to survive here, you need to know the forest better. And maybe I can teach you." Despite every instinct telling him to be cautious, Ethan felt a thrill of excitement. "All right," he said, stepping carefully onto the path she revealed. "Lead the way." Lyra grinned, moving ahead like a flash of orange and white. Ethan struggled to keep up. She jumped over roots and slipped through narrow openings effortlessly, while he stumbled and occasionally cursed under his breath. But she never slowed down. Instead, she turned to look back at him, golden eyes sparkling. "You'll learn, human. Or get eaten by a glowing snake. Either way, exciting." Hours passed, though time on Veyara seemed strange. The sun was a faint golden disk behind a curtain of violet clouds, yet it never truly set. Ethan followed Lyra as she led him deeper into the forest. She showed him pools of glowing water, plants that hummed when touched, and fruits that floated slightly above the ground. Each new sight left him more amazed than the last. "You see, humans think they are clever," Lyra said, stopping by a glowing pond. "But your kind would get lost in the first hour here. I could show you 100 tricks to survive. But do you want to learn?" Ethan laughed, watching a tiny creature with translucent wings skim across the pond. "I think I'd like to learn, but mostly, I just want to see everything. This place, it's incredible." Lyra's tail twitched, and she gave him a sly look. "You say that now, but do you know how to find your way if I vanish?" Ethan shook his head. "I guess I'd be in trouble." She laughed, a light musical sound that echoed softly through the glowing trees. "Good answer. Trouble is exciting." She crouched beside the pond, splashing the glowing water with her claw. "Come on, human. Let's see if you're brave enough for a secret." Curiosity got the better of him. Ethan approached the edge of the pond, careful not to slip on the glowing moss. Lyra tapped a sequence of glowing stones on the shore. Instantly, the pond rippled, revealing a hidden tunnel beneath. "Most humans would run screaming," she said. "But you're not most humans, are you?" Ethan shook his head, excitement and fear mingling in equal parts. "I guess not." "Good," she said. "Then follow me." They entered the tunnel, and the forest outside became distant, muffled. The walls glowed faintly with natural light, illuminating carvings that seemed to tell a story. Ethan studied them, fascinated. "These are very old," Lyra nodded. "Older than anything humans have touched. My people have lived here for centuries, hidden, careful. We trust very few outsiders, but you are interesting, Ethan." Ethan felt a warmth spread through him at the compliment. "Thank you." "I don't I don't get compliments often where I come from. Lyra smirked. I can see that. You're polite, brave, curious, and hopelessly clumsy. I like it. She twitched her ears playfully. But I have a question for you. Why do you really come here? Adventure? Curiosity or something else? Ethan thought for a moment. Curiosity mostly. I want to understand the universe. And the life in it. I want to see things humans only dream about. Lyra tilted her head, eyes sharp. Humans are strange. You explore for knowledge, and you fight for it too. Interesting. She paused, then added softly, I like that in you. Her words made Ethan's chest tighten slightly, but he smiled. I like you too, Lyra. You're incredible. She laughed, lightly nudging him with her shoulder. Careful, human. I might start expecting more compliments. They continued through the tunnels, emerging into a hidden grove filled with bioluminescent flowers that shone like stars. Ethan's eyes widened. I've never seen anything like this. Lyra's tail swished proudly. Not many have. But I think you deserve to see more. She walked ahead, then paused suddenly. I should introduce you to someone. Someone very special. Ethan turned to her. Who? Her eyes gleamed with a mixture of excitement and something else he couldn't quite place. My sister. Her name is Kayla. She is, well, you'll see. She's very wise, very strong, and very human-friendly. Ethan felt a flicker of curiosity. Your sister? Lyra nodded, but her playful smile faltered slightly. Yes, I wanted to meet you first. But you should meet her too. You need to know both of us. Ethan sensed a subtle tension in her voice, though she tried to mask it with a grin. Something told him Lyra cared for him more than she let on. But he was also intrigued about Kayla. All right, lead the way. Lyra grinned again, a hint of mischief in her eyes. Follow me. But remember, she is very different from me, and you might like her. The forest seemed to shift as they walked, the glowing plants parting as if guiding them. Ethan tried to keep pace with Lyra, his heart beating fast, not just from the quick walk, but from excitement, curiosity, and a strange sense of anticipation. When they finally reached a clearing, Ethan froze. There, sitting on a rock and watching the glowing plants, was Kayla. Her hair shimmered silver in the dim light, her eyes calm and wise, and she had an aura of quiet strength that seemed to command respect without even trying. Lyra stepped back slightly, letting him take in her sister's presence. Kayla, she said softly, this is Ethan. He is someone I think you should meet. Kayla's gaze met Ethan's, and a soft smile curved her lips. It is a pleasure to meet you, Ethan. Lyra speaks highly of your courage. Ethan swallowed, unsure what to say. The moment was delicate, almost magical, and he felt a strange pull toward her calm presence. The pleasure is mine, he managed. Lyra's tail flicked nervously behind her. She glanced at Ethan, then Kayla, and then back again. Something inside her stirred, jealousy, worry, but also hope. She wanted him, but she also wanted him to see Kayla's worth. Ethan, unaware of the tension, smiled at both sisters. I think I'm going to enjoy exploring this planet. Lyra's ears twitched, a playful glint returning to her eyes. Good, because there is so much more to see, and I'm not finished showing you yet. And with that, the fox girl led him deeper into the forest, the glow of their surroundings reflecting the strange, complicated, and exciting connections forming between human and alien. Little did Ethan know, meeting Kayla would challenge everything he thought he knew about friendship, loyalty, and perhaps even love. Ethan followed Lyra through the glowing forest, his eyes darting between the strange, luminous plants and the two fox-like girls ahead of him. Lyra's energy was almost contagious. She bounced lightly from stone to stone, her tail flicking behind her with excitement. Ethan struggled to keep up, his boots crunching against the soft moss. You'll need to be faster, Lyra said over her shoulder, a teasing edge in her voice. Veyara doesn't wait for slow humans. I'll try. Ethan laughed, panting slightly. But you're like lightning! Lyra spun to face him briefly, her golden eyes sparkling. Lightning is careful, smart, and deadly. Can you be all three, human? Ethan grinned. I can try. The forest seemed endless, but Lyra led him with purpose. Eventually they reached a small hidden valley, surrounded by tall crystal-like trees that shimmered in soft blues and purples. In the center of the valley was a serene pond, its surface glowing faintly. And sitting beside it was Kayla, Lyra's sister. Kayla looked entirely different from Lyra. Where Lyra was playful, vibrant, and mischievous, Kayla radiated calm confidence. Her silver hair cascaded down her back, and her deep amber eyes seemed to see right through Ethan. She sat with perfect posture, one hand resting lightly on her knee, the other tracing patterns on the glowing grass. Lyra slowed down and whispered to Ethan, "Be respectful. She notices everything." Ethan nodded, trying to calm his racing heart. He had seen many strange beings, but something about Kayla made him feel both nervous and captivated. "Kayla," Lyra called, her tone lighter now, playful but careful. "I want you to meet someone." Kayla turned her gaze toward Ethan, her expression softening slightly. "It is a pleasure to meet you, Ethan," she said in a melodic voice that was calm and soothing. "Lyra tells me you are brave and kind. We welcome friends here." Ethan bowed slightly, unsure how to respond. "It's really an honor to meet you, Kayla. Lyra's told me a lot about you." Lyra's ears twitched as she watched Ethan interact with her sister. She felt a pang in her chest, a mix of jealousy and worry. Ethan was so easy to admire, so curious and open-minded, and now Kayla seemed to draw his attention effortlessly. Kayla noticed Lyra's subtle discomfort and tilted her head, a small understanding smile forming. "Lyra is proud of this place, and proud of her friends. You'll see why." Ethan looked between the sisters. Lyra's playful energy and Kayla's calm wisdom created a strange but fascinating balance. "I think I already like it here," he said, gesturing at the glowing valley around them. Kayla's smile widened slightly. "You have a good heart, Ethan. That is rare even among humans." Lyra snorted softly. "She's too serious, you know." She bounced lightly to a nearby tree, twirling in the air. "I make the fun happen, Kayla. She makes the thinking happen. You'll need both to survive here." Ethan laughed, feeling a warmth toward both sisters. "Sounds like a perfect team." Lyra's golden eyes narrowed slightly, watching Ethan smile at Kayla. She quickly hid her feelings behind another playful remark. "Well, I suppose you need someone to keep you alive while you get lost in thought." Kayla's eyes twinkled faintly, but she did not reply. Instead, she pointed to the pond. "Come, Ethan, I want to show you something." Curious, Ethan followed her to the water's edge. Kayla knelt down, running her fingers across the glowing surface. The water shimmered, forming patterns that seemed almost alive. Small creatures emerged from the pond, swimming gracefully in the luminous water. "These are lumini," Kayla explained softly. "They are rare, delicate, and intelligent. They respond to energy and emotion. If you touch the water gently, they will sense your intent." Ethan carefully dipped his fingers into the glowing water. The creatures circled his hand, sensing his curiosity and calm. "They're amazing," he whispered. "I've never seen anything like them." Lyra bounced next to him, her tail flicking in delight. "See? That's why I told you to meet Kayla. She knows the secrets of the forest. I just make you run around and not get eaten." Kayla smiled faintly, clearly amused by her sister's antics. "Both play their part," she said. "Lyra teaches excitement. I teach understanding. Together we show visitors how to survive and appreciate Veyara." Ethan looked between them, noticing the subtle bond the sisters shared. Despite their differences, there was trust, respect, and deep care for one another. Yet beneath the surface, he could sense Lyra's quiet struggle. "Kayla," Lyra said, flicking her ears. "You're too serious. You scare him sometimes." Kayla tilted her head, her calm gaze never leaving Ethan. "I do not wish to scare him. I wish to help him understand." Ethan smiled, feeling caught in the middle of their dynamic. "I appreciate both of you," he said sincerely. "Lyra makes it fun and exciting. Kayla, you make it meaningful. I feel like I can learn so much from both of you." Lyra's golden eyes softened, though she quickly masked it with a smirk. "Flattery won't save you, human, but I suppose it's a start." Kayla stepped closer to the pond, glancing at Ethan. "There is more to see," she said softly. "But Veyara has challenges. Not all who wander here succeed. Courage alone is not enough. You must learn to think, adapt, and trust." Ethan nodded. "I'm ready to try. I want to understand this world. And both of you." Lyra's tail flicked, a small blush coloring her cheeks. "Both of us?" she asked lightly, though her voice betrayed a hint of jealousy. Ethan smiled warmly. "Yes, I think both of you are amazing." For a moment, Lyra's golden eyes softened and she allowed herself a quiet sigh. She wanted him for herself, yet she couldn't deny Kayla's quiet charm and the respect Ethan seemed to naturally give her. Kayla noticed the subtle tension but did not comment. Instead, she extended her hand toward Ethan. Come, I will show you the hidden grove. Only those who prove their heart and mind may enter. It is beautiful and full of surprises. Ethan took her hand carefully, feeling a strange thrill. The touch was gentle but grounding, and he realized that Kayla's calm nature was just as captivating as Lyra's playful energy. As they walked deeper into the valley, Lyra stayed close, her tail flicking in excitement and nerves. She led the way, but her golden eyes kept flicking toward Ethan and Kayla, observing every interaction, every subtle glance. The hidden grove was breathtaking. Towering crystal flowers glowed softly, their petals opening and closing as if breathing. Small floating lights hovered in the air, illuminating the path. Ethan felt as though he had stepped into a dream. These flowers, Kayla explained, respond to emotion and thought. They bloom brightest when hearts are pure and intentions honest. Ethan reached out to touch one, and it shone brilliantly under his hand. Lyra darted beside him, trying to nudge him playfully. See, I told you he'd be impressed. I wonder what else he'll like. Kayla smiled faintly. Do not let playfulness distract him from learning. Ethan chuckled. I think I'm learning from both of you. Lyra, excitement. Kayla, understanding. I couldn't ask for better guides. Lyra's ears twitched, a small sigh escaping her. She wanted him to notice her first, to choose her energy and playful charm. But watching him interact with Kayla, she realized that perhaps letting him see both sides was better. They explored the grove together, encountering small creatures, hidden streams, and glowing plants that reacted to their movements. Ethan marveled at everything, soaking in the beauty, knowledge, and company of the sisters. By the time they returned to the valley edge, the sun had dipped behind the violet clouds, casting the forest in a soft twilight glow. Ethan felt a strange mix of emotions: admiration, excitement, curiosity, and something more he couldn't yet name. Lyra's golden eyes met his, a hint of mischief and longing in them. Tomorrow, she said softly, we have more to explore. And I promise, it will be even more fun. Kayla's calm gaze followed him. And tomorrow you will learn more than just fun, Ethan. You will understand the forest, its secrets, and perhaps yourself. Ethan smiled at both of them. I can't wait. As they parted for the night, Lyra lingered, watching Ethan carefully. She wanted him for herself, yes, but she also knew that he would need both her and Kayla to truly thrive here, and in that realization she found a strange peace. The forest hummed around them, alive with glowing light and soft whispers. And for Ethan, the adventure was only beginning. The next morning, Ethan awoke to the soft hum of the forest outside his temporary camp. The air was filled with the scent of glowing flowers and fresh dew, and the soft light from the bioluminescent plants painted everything in gentle shades of blue and purple. Lyra was already awake, perched on a nearby rock, her golden eyes scanning the forest. Morning, human, she said with a teasing smirk. Did you sleep well? Or did the glowing trees keep you awake? Ethan stretched and smiled. I slept fine. The forest, it feels alive but not scary, at least not yet. Lyra laughed, her melodic voice echoing softly. Yet is the right word. The forest is full of surprises, Ethan. And today, you'll see just how dangerous it can be. Kayla stepped out from the grove behind them, her silver hair catching the soft light. Danger does not always come from wild creatures, she said calmly. Sometimes it comes from the forest itself, and from things we do not yet understand. Ethan nodded, feeling the weight of her words. I understand. I'll be careful. Lyra bounced lightly toward him. Careful is good, but you'll also need courage, wit, and a fast mind. Today's lesson is not just about survival, it's about teamwork. Ethan followed the sisters deeper into the forest. The glowing plants seemed to guide them, opening new paths as if aware of their presence. Soon they arrived at a narrow canyon where the walls glowed faintly with crystalline veins. This canyon, Kayla said softly, is a testing ground for those who enter. It will challenge your speed, intelligence, and trust in others. Only those who work together can navigate it safely. Ethan's heart quickened. Testing ground? What kind of challenges? Lyra grinned mischievously. Oh, you'll see. But don't worry, human. I'll make sure it's exciting. No sooner had she spoken than a low rumble echoed through the canyon. The crystalline walls shimmered, and small drones, relics of an ancient civilization, activated. Their lights flashed red, and mechanical whirs filled the air. Kayla's eyes narrowed. These drones are programmed to protect the canyon. They will attack anything they perceive as a threat. We must move carefully. Ethan's pulse quickened. Attack? What kind of attack? Lyra crouched low, her tail flicking in excitement. Don't worry. I'll show you first. She darted ahead, moving faster than Ethan could follow. She leaped over a glowing trench, narrowly avoiding a laser beam from one of the drones. See? Easy if you pay attention. Ethan swallowed and carefully followed her, dodging the beams as best he could. Kayla moved beside him, calm and precise. Do not rush, she advised. Observe the patterns. Anticipate their moves. Trust in what you see and in those who guide you. Together they navigated the canyon, facing a series of challenges. Some were physical, like leaping over unstable crystal bridges or climbing steep glowing walls. Others were mental, like deciphering symbols on the walls that controlled doors and pathways. Ethan struggled at first, fumbling with the symbols, but Kayla guided his hands patiently. Focus on the rhythm, she said softly. The symbols respond to intention, not force. Lyra, meanwhile, kept him on his toes, darting ahead and occasionally teasing him. Come on, human. You're slower than Illumini. Keep up. Despite her playful teasing, Ethan noticed she was also watching him closely, ensuring he remained safe. Every time he stumbled or miscalculated, Lyra was there to grab him or point out the correct path. As they progressed, the drones became more aggressive. They fired faster and the terrain became more treacherous. Ethan realized that he could not rely on his own abilities alone. He had to trust the sisters completely. Ethan, Kayla called as a drone swept down from above. Duck and roll to the left, then follow my hand. Ethan did as instructed, narrowly avoiding the laser. Kayla's hand guided him to a safe platform where he could catch his breath. Good, she said. You are learning. Lyra appeared beside him, panting slightly but grinning. See, I told you could do it. You're not hopeless after all. Ethan laughed, his nerves easing slightly. Thanks to both of you. I couldn't have done it alone. Lyra's ears twitched and she looked at him quickly, a flicker of jealousy in her golden eyes. She wanted to be the one who impressed him, but she also knew that Kayla's calm guidance was just as important. The final challenge came in the form of a collapsing bridge over a glowing chasm. A drone hovered above, ready to fire. Ethan froze for a moment, unsure how to proceed. Lyra darted ahead, assessing the structure. Human, I'll go first. Watch me and follow exactly. She leaped across the unstable planks, landing safely on the other side. See? Easy. Ethan followed, but a plank cracked under his weight, sending him sliding toward the edge. Help! He shouted instinctively. Lyra's eyes widened. Without hesitation, she leaped forward and grabbed him, pulling him to safety. Her golden eyes met his, and for a moment, the playful teasing vanished, replaced by something softer, more intense. You're not getting away that easily, she said breathlessly, her tail twitching nervously. Ethan's heart pounded. Thank you, Lyra. That was close. Kayla appeared beside them, calm as ever. Well done, both of you. Trust and cooperation saved you. This is what the canyon tests: courage, intellect, and unity. Ethan looked at the sisters, realizing that he had not only survived, but had grown closer to them in the process. Lyra's bravery and agility had saved him physically, while Kayla's wisdom and guidance had kept him mentally steady. Together, they were a perfect team. As they exited the canyon, Lyra's playful demeanor returned, though a faint blush colored her cheeks. Not bad, human. I suppose you can survive a little longer with me around. Kayla smiled faintly. You have learned more today than most visitors do in a week. But the forest still has secrets. Tomorrow you will face new challenges, and perhaps you will understand more about yourself. Ethan felt a strange mixture of excitement and exhaustion. I can't wait, he said honestly. I feel stronger, braver, and closer to both of you. Lyra's ears twitched at his words, her golden eyes narrowing slightly. Closer, huh? Careful what you say, human. Words have power. Kayla's gaze softened. It is not just words. Actions matter more. You have shown courage, trust, and respect. That is the foundation for any bond, friendship, admiration, or more. Ethan felt warmth spread through him. He had grown to admire both sisters deeply. Lyra's playful charm drew him in, making every moment exciting and unpredictable. Kayla's calm wisdom grounded him, giving him confidence and understanding. He realized that the connections he was forming were unlike anything he had ever experienced. As the sun dipped behind the violet clouds, Casting the forest in soft twilight, Ethan and the sisters set up camp near a glowing waterfall. The water shimmered in shades of blue and green, reflecting softly on their faces. Lyra sat beside him, tossing a glowing fruit into the air and catching it with her clawed hand. "Tomorrow," she said, "we explore the northern caves. Dangerous, yes, but full of treasures and secrets. You'll need both brains and courage." Ethan smiled, feeling excitement bubble within him. "I'm ready, and I feel safer knowing both of you are here." Kayla's calm presence was beside him as well. "You have learned well, Ethan, but tomorrow you will need to trust not only your mind and courage, but also your heart. Vayara responds to all of these." Ethan looked between the sisters, feeling the weight of their lessons and the depth of their care. The trials of the day had not only tested his abilities, but also revealed the strength of his bonds with Lyra and Kayla. Lyra's golden eyes met his once more, a flicker of longing and playfulness in them. "Careful, human. I might start expecting more than gratitude." Ethan laughed, feeling a strange warmth. "I'll try to keep up, and I'll be grateful. Very grateful." Kayla smiled softly. "Gratitude is important, but courage, wisdom, and trust are what will see you through the forest. Remember that, Ethan." As night fell, the forest glowed softly around them, and Ethan realized that his adventure on Vayara was only just beginning. The trials had tested him, yes, but they had also shown him the value of teamwork, trust, and the bonds that can form between humans and aliens. And deep in his heart, he knew that the connection he felt with both sisters, Lyra's fiery spirit and Kayla's calm wisdom, was something extraordinary, something he had never experienced before. The forest whispered softly around them, alive with light and energy, promising new challenges, mysteries, and the continuing journey of discovery and connection. The next morning, the forest of Vayara greeted them with a gentle glow. Ethan stretched and looked around the camp. Lyra was already moving, her golden eyes bright with excitement, and Kayla was calm as always, tending to the soft, glowing plants near the waterfall. "Ready for the final challenge?" Lyra asked, bouncing lightly on her toes. "The northern caves hold surprises you've never imagined." Ethan nodded, feeling both excitement and nervousness. "I think I'm ready. Thanks to both of you, I feel more confident than ever." Kayla smiled softly. "Confidence is important, but remember, the forest responds to heart and mind alike. Trust each other, and trust yourself." The trio set off toward the northern caves. The path was treacherous, winding through thick clusters of crystal trees with occasional gaps in the glowing ground revealing deep, shadowy chasms. Ethan followed closely, careful not to fall. Lyra darted ahead, scouting and teasing, while Kayla moved beside him, her calm presence a steadying force. As they approached the cave entrance, Ethan noticed its dark, jagged opening. The air around it shimmered faintly, as if the forest itself was warning them. "This cave," Kayla said softly, "is alive. It senses fear, doubt, and impatience. Only those who remain united can pass through safely." Lyra twirled in front of him, tail flicking. "Well, human, no time to be afraid. Stick with us and you'll do fine. I'll protect you." "Mostly," Ethan smiled. "I trust you both." The cave swallowed them in darkness, but the walls glowed faintly, illuminating strange patterns and symbols. As they moved deeper, mechanical hums and faint flashes of light revealed the presence of ancient guardians, drones and traps left by a civilization long gone. Ethan's heart pounded as a drone swooped down, firing a soft beam that skimmed past his shoulder. Lyra leapt forward, landing gracefully beside him. "Watch the patterns. Move with me." He followed her, dodging and weaving, while Kayla deciphered symbols on the walls that controlled doors and platforms. "Step here," she directed, pointing to a glowing glyph. "Trust the flow, not your fear." They advanced together, each relying on the other's strengths. Lyra's speed and agility helped them evade attacks. Kayla's intelligence guided their steps, and Ethan's courage and determination kept him focused. The trio moved as one, each action synchronized with the others. Suddenly, the path split into three, each leading into separate tunnels. A glowing barrier blocked the middle path, its energy pulsing. "Which way?" Ethan asked, unsure. Lyra's ears twitched nervously. "The left path is faster, but more dangerous. The right is slower but safer. Middle is unknown." Kayla studied the symbols. "The forest tests unity. We must trust each other's instincts." Split paths weaken strength. We go together, not apart. Ethan nodded, and Lyra's golden eyes softened. Together, she said. They carefully followed the middle path, which led into a wide chamber filled with glowing crystals and floating platforms. The chamber hummed with energy, and strange lights danced across the walls. Ethan's eyes widened. This is incredible. Lyra twirled in the air, landing gracefully on a floating platform. See? Told you it would be fun. Kayla placed her hands on a glowing crystal, and patterns of light shifted to create a safe path across the platforms. Balance courage with thought. Only then will the forest let you pass. Ethan carefully stepped forward, moving in rhythm with the floating platforms. He glanced at Lyra, who gave him an encouraging nod, and at Kayla, who guided his steps with calm precision. As they reached the center of the chamber, a massive energy barrier appeared, blocking the exit. A soft voice echoed through the chamber, ancient and melodic. Those who wish to leave must show unity of heart, mind, and spirit. Only through trust and courage can the path be opened. Ethan looked at the sisters. Unity, heart, mind, and spirit. What does that mean? Lyra's golden eyes softened. It means we have to act as one. Trust each other completely. Show the forest we are not divided. Kayla nodded. Place your hands together. Let your energy flow as one. Feel each other's intent and purpose. Ethan hesitated for a moment, then reached out to place his hand alongside Lyra's and Kayla's. A warm glow spread from their hands, spreading through the chamber. The crystals pulsed, responding to their combined energy. The barrier shimmered and dissolved, revealing the exit. Light from the forest streamed in, dazzling and beautiful. They had passed the test not through strength alone, but through trust, courage, and connection. As they stepped out, Ethan felt a rush of exhilaration. He had faced danger, worked with both sisters, and come through stronger. Lyra's tail flicked nervously as she glanced at him. You did well, she said softly. All of you, but especially you, human. I wanted to protect you. And now I see you can face more than I expected. Ethan smiled warmly. I couldn't have done it without both of you. Lyra, your courage. And Kayla, your guidance. I trust you both completely. Kayla's calm gaze met his, and she nodded. You have learned well, Ethan. Trust is the strongest weapon you can carry in this forest. And perhaps the most important lesson of all is that bonds are stronger than any challenge. Lyra's golden eyes glimmered with unspoken emotion. She stepped closer, her voice soft. I wanted you to notice me first. But watching you with Kayla, I understand. You need both of us, and I want you to know I care for you. Ethan's chest tightened. He looked at Lyra, then at Kayla. Both had shown him courage, wisdom, and kindness. Both had opened a part of their hearts to him. And he realized that his feelings for them were more than admiration. They were deep, meaningful, and complicated. I care for both of you, Ethan said sincerely. You've taught me so much. And you've shown me what friendship, trust, and bravery really mean. I don't want to lose either of you. Lyra's tail flicked nervously, but her eyes softened. Then stay with us. For as long as you like. But remember, caring is not just wanting. It's sharing, trusting, and respecting. Kayla smiled faintly, her calm presence reassuring. And that is why you passed the final trial. Not because of strength or speed or even knowledge, but because your heart is open to both of us. Ethan looked between them, feeling a strange peace. He had been faced with danger, excitement, and challenges beyond anything he had imagined. Yet in the midst of it all, he had found connection, trust, and a bond that felt unbreakable. Lyra laughed softly, a sound filled with warmth and relief. You survived, human, and you didn't mess it up completely. Ethan chuckled. I tried my best, and you both helped me more than I can say. Kayla stepped closer. The forest and its challenges will continue, Ethan. But now you know that you are never alone. Courage, wisdom, and trust, these will guide you. And so will we. The three of them sat by the glowing waterfall as twilight fell, the forest shimmering softly around them. Ethan felt a strange, comforting warmth, knowing he had found allies, guides, and perhaps something even deeper in the sisters. Lyra's tail flicked against his arm playfully. Tomorrow, more adventures. I'll make sure you don't get bored. Or eaten, Kayla smiled softly. And tomorrow you will learn more than adventure. You will learn about understanding, respect, and the strength of bonds. Ethan looked at both sisters, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and affection. I'm ready for all of it, and I'm glad I get to experience it with both of you. Lyra's golden eyes met his, and for the first time she allowed herself to show her true feelings. We wanted you for ourselves, but we also wanted you to see each other's worth. And I think that makes this even better. Kayla's calm gaze softened. And now, Ethan, you are not just an explorer. You are a part of this world, a part of our lives, and a part of our hearts. Ethan smiled, feeling a warmth he had never known. The forest around them glowed softly. The waterfalls shimmered, and the night hummed with life. For the first time, he realized that adventure was not just about exploring new worlds. It was about connections, trust, and the bonds that could form across species, cultures, and hearts. The fox girl and her sister had shown him courage, wisdom, and kindness, and in return he had offered respect, trust, and admiration. Together they had faced challenges, explored wonders, and discovered that unity was stronger than any danger. As they settled for the night, Ethan knew one thing for certain. His life on Veyara had changed forever, and whatever adventures awaited, he would face them with both Lyra and Kayla by his side. The forest whispered softly around them, alive with light and life, promising new discoveries, challenges, and moments of connection that would last far beyond this day. Ethan closed his eyes, feeling safe, inspired, and profoundly grateful. He had found more than adventure. He had found family, friendship, and perhaps something even more extraordinary. And in the glowing forest of Veyara, with the fox girl and her sister by his side, he knew that the journey had only just begun.